Hi, everybody, and welcome. So, today I want to talk about a few things that have come up. I've been getting questions about how can I build up my business if I'm just a small business? I don't have these big budgets. I don't have all these tactics that I'm using for a bigger enterprise. Well, I'm going to give you a few tactics today on how to build up your marketing plan for smaller businesses. We're going to talk about social media, talk about branding. We're going to talk about how to integrate your sales teams internally with the rest of the teams. We're also going to talk about lead nurturing. Basically, sometimes your leads are not going to say, I want to buy today, maybe in 6 months or 10 months, but what happens in between? We have to nurture that. So we're going to get into that in a little bit more. So small businesses operate differently than how a bigger corporate enterprise works. It's a different size, they have different resources, so it's natural that they're going to be working differently. So a few things that are very key for these marketing teams, sometimes just a one-person team, right, is embracing crisis management. They have to be on top of every kind of information they can. So they have to have the ability to adapt quickly and precisely for whatever's going on in the market. Prioritizing decisions is also a very important thing that these teams need to do. Resources are limited, like we said. So making hard decisions is basically saying, where am I going to put my resources? Sometimes small businesses can seek out expert advice to get more support and guidance through certain areas, right? They can help out with marketing experts and consultants and help your teams. They can be even part of your team. Sometimes it's a one-person team, and having an outsourced consultant can even produce more results for whatever strategies you're trying to implement. This takes me to tactic number 1 today. Integrating internal operations, basically adapting like a macro perspective. So not all teams generally work together. Sometimes product has nothing to do with operations. But in this case, it's important that operations understands timetables, just time framing for a product. And marketing, for example, is going to have to obey all the time frames that product is giving them to give out all the content to sales. And sales will have to follow the time frame that product is giving just because marketing needs to have that content ready, and they can't go out offering products that are halfway baked. Or can you? Having this macro perspective where everybody's connected, everybody understands what the other is doing and their time framings and their needs, their pain points, is going to give you the best view possible to move forward on your decision making, on your budgets, and allocating your resources, which of course everybody knows by now are very limited. So a few steps that you can take to integrate your internal operations are these. So let me show you. Identify marketing objectives and goals. Align your departments and functions towards these goals. It's very important. Everybody needs to understand where they're going. Those are the goals. You have corporate goals, you have marketing goals. The goals within marketing are going to be set by your corporate goals. So it's important that everybody understands where they're going. Number 3, establish clear communication channels. Number 4, encourage collaboration and knowledge sharing. Remember, sometimes people know a little bit more about certain things and they can share that knowledge and help improve your product or services or your entire operation. Number 5, provide ongoing training and development opportunities. It's very important that people feel that they can grow with you. If you have a certain team of product or operations, they can understand that they can perfect whatever they're doing or even have chances of improving their career through you. Number 6, evaluate and adjust operations based on performance metrics. Of course, you're going to have to measure everything to understand if it's working or not. Tactic number 2, branding. Don't ever underestimate the power of a strong brand. If I just say the name of a fruit, that which everybody would know what it is, you're going to understand what branding is. Everybody will do lines and lines just to get in the store of that brand. Why? because they have built value. They have built a following. It's the power of a brand. You need to define the brand's unique value proposition. And you also need to communicate that brand message effectively across the board to everyone. So all your points of contact needs to have the same kind of message where that brand value, your value proposition, is being communicated. Everybody understands it. Another thing is visual identity. So if you're using corporate colors, if you're using a logo, have it all over. Has to be consistent. Be consistent in your, not only the message, but also in your visual. So everybody can see it and they can understand it without you having to read it. Now, if you've seen other videos that I've done, you're gonna hear this and you're gonna say, oh yeah, he's said that before. Build relationships. This one is part of the essentials of any kind of brand. To understand how bigger brands, right, have all this following, it's because they have communications, they have visuals, they have a value proposition, but the relationship that they've built with their customers is huge. They invest in that. So what you need to do is invest in the way that you communicate with your customers. And don't think that you need to invest in a huge system because of what we're going to show you later in the following tactics. Social media is just right there. You can use that to communicate. Build a solid relationship with your customers. Tactic number 3, social media. So social media is a very rich environment where you can expand in with very low cost everything that you have as your brand and your services with a huge reach. So one of the most attractive things about social media is that you can reach so many people. And the way that you reach through them is on all these platforms like Twitter or X now, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, etc. The important thing here is that you understand how you're reaching them. So for example, if you want to reach a higher demographic, an older demographic, maybe TikTok might not be your platform, but maybe LinkedIn will be, right? Maybe Facebook will be. So that's the important part here of a good social media strategy. When you sit down with your teams, you need to be very clear about your goals. Remember, we talked about goals before. So when you say, I have this target audience for this product or services within this year of time frame, right? My time frame is going to be this year. That's what you want them to work on. And they will, on that, base a strategy for the different channels that they need. The content creation for each one of these channels is going to be different. Like we were saying, not just the demographics, but the way that you communicate this content is going to be different. So let's put it this way. If you're going to do something on TikTok, it might be something leisurely, something fun, something entertaining. You can be a law firm, for example, which traditionally is a lot more serious. You know, they're talking about things that are not fun sometimes, but you can do it in a fun way and maybe do some TikTok videos. Who knows? Or you can do the other one in parallel, but it's a different way of communicating through LinkedIn, which will be a little bit more serious. It might be a little bit more towards that kind of demographic. So there's a different way of approaching each channel for each type of content. So to recap for social media, it's important that you understand what audience are you going to be talking to, so you understand where they are. And based on that, you're going to be using, of course, visuals, images to make it a rich content, something that attracts people. But something that's important, you're going to try to incentivize engagement. There are people that are reaching out to you because they want to engage. They want to talk to you. Thought leadership is something that people follow because they're looking for advice. They're looking for knowledge. You are an expert at something. Maybe they're looking for your knowledge before they buy a product or a service. So share that knowledge, engage with them. That's what you need to do with social media. Tactic number 4, content marketing. Content marketing strategy is essential, not only for social, but for other things too. So let me put you an example. you're trying to test out one or two products that you want to sell for this year. This is going to be your corporate goal. And you're not sure which one is going to be the product that's going to be more interesting for your people, for your audience. So you can test it out in social and do certain kind of content where they're going to be saying, okay, this is the benefits of product A, benefits of product B. And you're going to build out content for each one. But you're going to be using what's called content marketing strategy so you can start automating processes in the background to understand what they're interested in. It's not just, oh, I clicked on this and that's it. What you're going to be understanding is that they're going to be clicking through a process that's giving you information on how they appreciate your product. How can you improve your product? What are the pain points for them that you can improve? Content marketing is going to help you make the decisions on how to steer your business. Content marketing is going to give you that feedback from your customers so you can make those decisions well informed. One of the interesting things about content marketing is that you start to develop leads. People that are interested in your product or service. They might be interested in you as a person, or you as a brand, you as a thought leadership for your sharing of information and knowledge. What you're achieving there are leads, people that are interested. The important thing here is that maybe they want to buy something from you, maybe buy you a service or product, or maybe they are thinking about it. Maybe they have somebody that's thinking about it and they're trying to help them. But what do you do to engage with that? This takes me to tactic number 5, lead nurturing. Basically, building a relationship. Building relationships with your customers is essential for any business, big, small, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's essential. I don't care whatever you say. It's for me it's always going to be the most important thing. Building that relationship will give you feedback on how to move forward with your product or services, on how to perfect your product or services, the delivery, operations, internally, everything. It's even going to tell you what they want to buy from you. But how do I implement lead nurturing, building these relationships in a small business? Well, I have a few ideas here that I'm going to share. So look, first, you got to segment your leads. So based out of your content marketing, you're going to have people that are going to be engaging with certain types of content. Remember the example of product A and product B? People that engage with product A, you will be talking to them about product A or anything that involves product A. That is segmenting the leads based on their interests and their needs. Then you're going to personalize that communication to provide relevant information. Once again, they are interested in product A, so you're going to be providing information that's relevant to them. They don't care about product B. Talked about product A. Timing communication appropriately so you can guide these leads through your sales funnel. We all have a funnel. Sometimes they're very interested in your product or your services, but they don't have the intention of buying just yet. Might be 6 months, 3 months, 10 months from now. But during that period of time, you have to nurture that. You have to keep being their top of mind. Maybe you have competition, somebody else that sells something that's very similar to you. So why would they still be buying from you 10 months from now? What you need to do is nurture that relationship. Once again, segment that content. Keep them engaged in conversation within social. Email them information that's relevant to what they're interested in. Build that relationship constantly, but have it timely made. Don't spam. Please don't spam. Finally, automating lead nurturing processes can help you maximize your efficiency. When you have these different kind of emails or websites, landing pages where your clients come in and they click through it, you're going to have feedback and information. But the important thing is that that information is not lost. So there's a back end. There's some kind of system that's registering these clicks, that's registering what they're interested in. There are many software and platforms out there that can help you and assist you with this. Once again, if you don't know much about this, seek out some expert advice. Maybe some marketing expert or a consultant can reach out and help you and guide you through this process in implementing one of these systems. Well, I hope you liked today's video. If you have any other questions, if you want to seek advice, please reach out. I'm happy to help. And please don't forget to subscribe and put your comments down below. See you in the next one.